Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Unfound Podcast channel on YouTube. I'm, of course, Unfound's host, Ed Densel. As the title suggests, this will be a map analysis for the disappearance of Angela Freeman. This is an episode that came out on October 21st, 2022. I hope you will give this video a thumbs up when it's over. Please consider subscribing to this channel. And then right below this video, you can see the join button. Maybe consider doing that as well. Right there in the middle of the screen is the Monard Bridge. Do not know how many times I made sure I was going to pronounce that correctly before the interview was done. I had to ask Deborah because Maynard, hard to tell, but it's Monard. There's like an R in there, even though there's no R. You pronounce it even though there's no R. So that is the Monard Bridge, and it goes over the Leaf River. And I think by looking at this, you can kind of tell that this river flows in a west to east direction, kind of looking at how the dirt is deposited right here. What happens is the water goes through these turns. The inside part of the water slows down, and when it slows down, particles drop out of the water, and that's how these banks are made. Any place you see here is where the water slows down. So this is the river, and this is the bridge. As you heard Deborah say, this bridge is not in use here in 2022, and it was barely even in use in 1993. And if I were to zoom in, you would see that it just is not passable anymore, and I don't even know how old this photo is. But Angela's car was found very near it, right here in this area, on the north side of the bridge, and you heard what happened was that her uncle was coming across here, took the chance going over the bridge, and that's how he came upon her car. But her car was parked right in this area, and if we are to believe this person, the father of a person, a guy who is now on the local police force here, what this guy said is that back in the day, he used to see allegedly Angela's car and allegedly Stephen's truck up here in this area. There's like a big oak tree right in this area, and he would see those two cars parked there. Now, the problem is that nobody ever saw Angela in one of those vehicles, never saw Stephen in one of those vehicles, and you know how I feel about stories like that. I'm not sure what to make of it. But also, maybe in a way, just too conveniently goes in with the idea that, well, it makes total sense. She gets together with Steve, and then there's a problem. You know, she goes to see him, and then she tells him, well, meet us at the spot. He goes down there, something happens, and then, you know, he puts her car there and goes back to his truck, which was up here. Very possible. You may believe that. But somewhere in there, maybe this alleged fact about them meeting over here in this area once in a while, maybe it's just a little too good to be true. So I hope you will not just take it as total fact. It certainly is convenient, but we know sometimes that convenient information isn't true. Now, something else we need to look at is the Leaf River is not the Mississippi, but just looking at it here, it's not a small creek either. It doesn't look, at least in this video or in this picture, to be very shallow. So we may consider the idea that foul play occurred and whoever caused Angela to disappear did put her into the river and she floated downstream. Very sad, obviously horrible. So it's something we need to consider. I'm not an expert on the river. I don't even know what condition it was in at that time. But what I see here, it's not a very straight river. And of course, to the west of it, we got all these turns. To the east of it, we got all these turns. In fact, we have a very pronounced turn here to the east. So what that means is, once again, the water slows down and the heavier particles limbs, maybe animals that get drowned. They will drop in these areas if they're in the water, and all the lighter stuff will continue to flow downstream. So, of course, a human body, if we were to consider looking for Angela all these years later, river going this way, this area right in here where this river makes a 90-degree bend is certainly, it would be a good place to start. But they looked at the time, didn't find anything. But on the other hand, investigators didn't know that was a puddle of blood on the ground either. So maybe we should have our doubts about the quality of the searches back in 1993. Something to think about. Now, as far as where Petal, Mississippi is regarding all of this, I will zoom it out and you will see. Zoom out quite a bit, actually. But you can see that there's Hattiesburg, and Petal actually is up here. It's like a suburb. Hattiesburg, a big college town. So that is the map analysis of this location. And to zoom this all back in. So once again, her car was found near the bridge. A shoe, one of her shoes was found on the bridge. One of those shoes was found in the bushes just to the north of the bridge. This puddle was found near her car, which was once again in this area. Remember, at the time, they were trying to keep people from going over the bridge, putting mounds of dirt. Seemed like locals knew how to get around that. And then we also have this story that allegedly Angela's car and allegedly Stephen's truck would be seen up here closer to this old river road. Maybe they would meet there sometimes. I just don't know how solid that story is. But there you go. That is the map analysis for the disappearance of Angela Freeman. I hope this helps you understand her case a little better. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, consider joining, and I will talk to you next time.